Good morning, friends. Good morning, Flosstube. Today is Monday, the 2nd of February, I believe. So we are finally out of January. And what my gripes are with January, you would know if you've been around here. If you are new, welcome. I'm happy to have you here. My name is Sen. I am an artist and designer, and this is my little place on YouTube for everything cross-stitch. Very occasional, some other crafts, because I do tend to knit here and there or so, but very rarely. Mostly my time is taken up by cross-stitch. So I do my best to do some weekly roundups of what I've been working on the previous week. So today is one of such days. I'm going to show you in a moment what I've been up to the past week. Also, as is customary, Seto has also arrived and just decided to join our little get-together this week. So yeah, I also have my January roundup in total, because I have been quite diligent on picking and keeping track of stats. So let us do that real quick before I show you all the other things. And I am handling my desk in front of me with the cat in my face. So if things look a little bit funny, please don't mind. Let me grab my January summary here. I've been very diligent in keeping track in January. So I have stitched every single day in January. Some days have been less, like I think the lowest stitchy day that I've had, just a little over 100 stitches. But every stitch counts, doesn't it? So that is 31 out of 31 days for a total of 18,215 stitches. I have worked on 21 different projects. I started 5 and I finished 1. So that is my January roundup. And I will show you, like I showed you the finish already last time. So I need to get the cat down because he's seeing something outside the window and I'm a little bit worried he'll jump over there and into the plants. So last week I showed you the finish of this month's Patreon pattern. And I have since fully finished it. If you're following my Instagram, you might have seen it. This is the fully finished version. I bought this light pink frame on Amazon and I put a few little stickers on it to make it a little bit more Valentine-y. And yeah, I just framed this myself. I left the glass out and it's just very regular, just some lacing in the back to keep it in there. Nothing fancy, but it works and I think it looks super cute and dainty. And I have it up over my desk up there, so just standing because I had to take the hangers out. I need to buy some like stick-on hanger or something to glue on the back here, because the hanger obviously was under the where the fabric is laced, as well as the one to where it stands on down here. That one I could probably put back in, but so far this works. So that is my FFO. And now I will move the camera around to my desk to show you like all the projects that I've been working on over the week before I babble on for too much longer. Also, as usual, these will not be in any particular order of which day I worked on what, because I just pulled them all out and stacked them on my desk and I'm grabbing them as they go. If you see some cable, please do not be alarmed or anything, or surprised. I have my phone on charger so that I can film, because my battery is very low. And I think I need to turn it around because we do have like the thingamajig in it again. Give me 1 second. Okay, this looks better. I don't know what happened there because I have it in the exact same way. Anyway, First one I worked on is this one. This is a pattern that I made. This is my artwork that I drew. It's not acrylic, what's the word? Gouache painting. And I charted it as a full coverage cottage. Oh my god. I haven't had coffee yet, so as is usually customary on Monday mornings, I cannot talk. So this is available in my Etsy shop if you like it. And I have worked a little bit on it, not overly much. Let me get my stats back up because I am still on the summary page. I gave it 631 stitches. And I did some more filling in here in the second page. So I just worked in this area here a little bit, starting to work in the hanging threads before I continue moving over across. So this one is not too far done. Let me see if it gives me the percentage as well. I am, as per usual, not very prepared, at around 11%. Also, if you hear banging, I apologize. I don't know if my neighbor upstairs is cleaning her room or something, but she is making quite a bit of a ruckus. So that is Mystical Swamp. So next one I worked on is the Garlic Dragon. This is from Paintree Crafts. The artist is Stanley Morrison, and I've had this for quite a while. I've started this. Let me see. I do have my mouse like on charger, which means it's on the entirely opposite side of where I need it. I started this one. Oh my god, this is a mess as usual. Back in 2023. So this got quite a bit of love last week. Let me see. So you can see in the before and after, I almost finished the first page. And that is what I worked on, trying to get the first page done. And as you also can see, which I mentioned last week, I am kind of sticking to working in a hoop because I figured I do actually work a lot faster if I do. So that is a good thing for me because I do have a ton of projects. And I found one that I actually like stitching with. This got 1,477 stitches last week. So this is the project that got the most love. Let me grab the next one. And yes, I am pausing the putting away projects because that would otherwise be a little bit excessive. We would have more putting away and grabbing than actually showing stitches. So next I worked on is the Star Dragon. This is from Owl Forest Embroidery. I do not have a printed out cover picture, so I'm just going to show you the card that I have for it. This is what it will look like. And I gave it 845 stitches last week, so not too shabby. I think I worked down here in the frame. Almost finished the flower arrangement up here, saying almost because there is a tiny bit missing here in the tippy top of this leaf. Let me move the camera a little bit closer. That's better, I think. I don't know if you can see it, like this leaf is not fully stitched because I ran out of thread. And then I moved over here to these flowers and started on them. So this is where this one is currently at. Also a project that I love working on quite a bit. So, but I want to touch all of my projects. So I'm starting to go through most of them by number. So I started at number 1 on my list and went down 2, 3, 4. And until I was like, no, I just want to grab something else because I cannot stick to my own rules. It doesn't work. It's not it's not a thing. But this was the next one. Let us move on to what else we have. So another one I worked on is the Flower Shop by Pocket Mama Shop. You can find this on her shop on Etsy. And I love this one too, it's super cute. Let's see what I did on it. This one got 411 stitches done last week. And I do believe, apart from filling out the rest of the blue here in the door and one of the side lines here, I did most of the work up here in the Flower Shop sign on top. So this is so cute to stitch in spring. Also something I will probably do a bit of a focus on, because I want to finish some of my smalls this year, so that I can get my work count down a little bit. I'm not going to finish any full coverage this year. That, like, not any large full coverage, but I do have quite a few small projects that only need like under 1,000 or up to 3,000 stitches until they are complete. And I want to try to focus a little bit on those this year to get them done. But this is where the Flower Shop is at. This will be one of those that will hopefully at least get halfway done this year. We'll see. Now, last but not least, we're moving on to model stitching that I did last week. I started a new one, which is of course why I never finish anything. I think I said in one of my previous videos that I'm doing like a coaster set of 4 with colors that, like, with different different patterns that get the colors of the respective season, fitting to the respective seasons. I have finished summer and fall. I am still working on spring, and I started winter. So these are the first stitches in the winter one. And yeah, I started this on, I believe, Friday. So it didn't get many stitches. I think this is over 203 stitches. But these also do not have many stitches, a little over 2,000. So I also want to finish spring and winter this year, so I can make the set, like finish the set and put it in my shop. But this will be winter. Then I have continued on my citruses. I did a little bit more stitching on what was supposed to be a coaster, but since I did not check the fabric size, this will not be a coaster for me. It is a coaster pattern. If you use a 14 count, I didn't know. I was assuming this was a 14 count, but it's probably more like, I wouldn't say an 11. It's not that large. Maybe something in between due to, I don't know, whatever shenanigans happened with it. But it is too large for a coaster. So I will finish this some other way. But the pattern is for a coaster. I digress. I gave this one, let's see, how many more stitches did it get? 139. I just worked on it a little bit yesterday. I didn't have much time for stitching because we had a friend over. And of course, I'm not supposed to work on Sundays. Do I care? No. I work whenever. So that is the coaster. And I also put a bit more stitches into the round pattern, which will be this one. I still have not printed it out, so I can still not show you what it's gonna look like finished. Just that it will be round, so it will fit in a hoop. It might even fit in this hoop size that I've worked with, just not in like the way I had it on, but probably somewhere along. It's probably gonna be this size approximately, so we will see if this fits in the size hoop or not. It should, but that is why I'm stitching it. I had to figure this out. This is on the 16 count, so if you're doing it on 14, it's gonna be larger, obviously. This one got another 138 stitches. last week, and I will probably focus a bit more on it this week. And then there's another variant of these citrus patterns, 1 or 2, that I want to make. I'm thinking about a mandala, and I'm also thinking about a band sampler type. So we'll see. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided, but this is where this one is currently at. And that brings us to the end of all the patterns I worked on. So let's move back around. So here we are again, and that is all that I worked on last week. So it's probably going to be a little bit more of a shorter video, maybe. Who knows? Because I do waffle a lot. And yeah, other than that, live updates for last week. Not too much to say on my end. Well, my friend finished his exam, so he's gonna be home from now on for a little bit until he finds a job, and then we will see where we go from there. If and how long we stay here. For now, we decided we're gonna stay here a few more years probably, and yeah, we'll see where life takes us, right? And other than that, I don't know if I said it last week, because that was also already a last week thing. We did not get our application for the country's largest convention that we tend to go to every year was rejected. So this will probably be a lower market year for me, which is also fine. I am looking at restructuring the art part of my business a little bit, so we'll see where that goes. I want to focus more on the online part and rely a little less on markets, because they are very volatile. I mean, sometimes even more than the online market, because while vendoring is great, you're there in person and people can see what you have to offer in person and chat with you and everything. But there are so many artists applying for so little space at markets that the chances to even get in are getting lower and lower, and the table fees are getting higher and higher. So it's not the best. Let's just put it that way. I'm making most of my money on my art business side at conventions and markets, which is not good. I want to make the shift, to try and make most of it online, in my Etsy shop. But that means that I have to learn proper marketing. And we all know I'm not good at that. So, but we will see what happens. Other than that, that's pretty much all that happened last week. This week might be a bit more busy because my best friend has his birthday on Friday, and we are going to a craft fair on the weekend. So I'm gonna see what that is like. Just checking it out, looking if maybe we want to apply to that one next year. And yeah, it's just a local thing. I haven't been there yet. So we are living in a very large metropolitan area, so there's a lot going on here. I just need to look into what it is, because so far I have been mostly focused on what I've always been doing for the past 20 years, going to mostly anime and comic conventions, because that's what I used to do for the most part. But my business has shifted. Both my art business has shifted to stationery, as well as I'm doing cross stitch now, making patterns and making cross stitch kits. So I am looking at shifting my focus more into craft markets and craft conventions and stationery conventions. I'm not as knowledgeable which ones exist and which ones one can apply to and when. So that's going to be something I want to look in more this year. And that's a thing that we will be doing this week. So maybe I will chat about that a little bit next Monday. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. I am And I'm a broken record on that, still getting over this cough, so I will probably go to the doctors again tomorrow and do another checkup and see what's up with that. Because, well, I know that, like, especially with bronchitis, like, the cough that you have after that can last for 8 to 10 weeks and all that, but it has been over 6 weeks now, so I might as well just let them have another look, see if everything's fine, and if they say, yeah, it's just gonna go away in a few weeks, then that's fine by me. But yeah, other than that, I hope you enjoyed hanging out, got some stitching done, saw what I've been up to the past week, and getting a new sneaky peek at my newer models of patterns upcoming. And those were like, the citrus set is not going to be Patreon exclusive. They will go straight to my Etsy shop when they're done. I'm planning on having them up in summer, like for some summer stitching. I'm still thinking about what exactly I'm going to do for next month's Patreon. I've had some suggestions, so I will look into those. We will see. And yeah. Let me know what you liked, let me know what you were working on, and I hope I will see all of you again next week. Bye bye and happy stitching!